Alex had never left Earth before. Now he was standing on a floating space station, far above the blue planet. This was not just any station, it was the Galactic University, where students from many planets came to study science, language, and history. He had earned a scholarship, and now he was here, nervous and excited. Alex looked around. The walls glowed with soft light. Robots moved across the halls, cleaning the floors. He held a small suitcase in one hand and a paper with his room number. Sector B9, room 42. He took a deep breath. Okay, new life, new roommate, he whispered to himself. The door to his room slid open with a whoosh. Inside, the room was clean and simple. 2 beds, 2 desks, small kitchen, and a shared bathroom. But what caught his eye was the tall figure standing. By the window, it was his roommate. He was not human. The alien stood at least 7 feet tall. His skin was silver blue and seemed to glow faintly. His eyes were wide and bright violet. He wore a loose robe and had no hair. The alien turned and smiled politely. "You must be Alex," the alien said in clear English, though his voice sounded like 2 voices speaking at once. Alex froze. He had never met an alien face to face. Yeah, that's me," Alex replied nervously. "And you are?" "My name is Cairo. I am from planet Zyron. I will be your roommate. I hope this arrangement is peaceful." "Why, yeah, peaceful is great." Over the next few days, things were awkward, but calm. Cairo was quiet, neat, and always curious. He asked strange questions. Why? Do humans sleep with their eyes closed? Why do you eat with heat? Why do you make sounds when you laugh? Alex answered. The best he could, often laughing at how serious Cairo looked while asking. They slowly started becoming friends. But one morning, everything changed. Alex had just woken up, yawned, stretched, and walked into the bathroom in his towel. He didn't lock the door. He thought Cairo was out. Inside, he dropped the towel and turned on the shower. Just as the water started, the bathroom door whooshed open. "Cairo, I'm in," Alex shouted, turning fast. But it was too late. Kaio stood in the doorway, frozen, eyes wide. He looked straight at Alex. Fully naked. Then something strange happened. Cairo's body began to glow brightly from his chest, to his hands, to his face. His eyes turned pure white, and the air around him shimmered, and then he collapsed. "Cairo," Alex yelled, grabbing a towel and running to him. Kair lay on the floor. Eyes closed, his skin still glowing. Alex didn't know what to do. He tapped. His wrist come to call for help, but before he could, Cairo's eyes opened. I saw it," Cairo whispered. "Saw what?" Alex asked. "The signal, the light, the connection." Alex stepped back, confused. "What are you talking about?" Cairo sat up slowly, placing a hand over his chest. "This should not happen. It only happens when a Zyran meets their soul match." Alex blinked. "Excuse me, soul? What now?" "Shh." Cairo looked deeply afraid. "You have triggered something in me that no human ever has. Our minds may now be linked." Alex looked at him, mouth open. "This has to be a dream," he said quietly. But Cairo just looked at him and said, "No, Alex. This is the beginning." That night, Alex couldn't sleep. He lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything Cairo had said. A soul bond from seeing me naked? That's ridiculous. But deep down, something felt strange. He remembered the glow, the heat in the room, the way Cairo spoke like something big had started. He turned to the side. Kairo was awake too, staring at the ceiling. Neither of them spoke. Both were afraid. But neither of them knew this was only the beginning of something much, much bigger. Asterisk. Kairo was no longer the same. Ever since he saw Alex in that strange moment, his body had started changing. The glow wouldn't stop. It was like something deep inside him had woken up. He stood alone in the bathroom, staring at himself in the mirror. His silver blue skin now had patterns, glowing lines that pulsed like gentle lightning under his skin. His heartbeat sounded louder. His thoughts were no longer private. He could hear someone else. He could hear Alex's mind. Alex in his bed tossed and turned. Thoughts raced through his head. Cairo must be joking. This can't be real. Soul. Match. Mind link. What even is a Zyron bond? Suddenly, a soft voice echoed in his mind. I am not joking, Alex. I can hear you. Alex sat up straight, heart pounding. What the hell? He whispered out loud. Do not be afraid. I am not inside your head. On purpose. The voice was calm, familiar. It was Cairo. Alex grabbed his blanket and ran to the bathroom. He knocked loudly. Open the door. Are you really talking to my head? The door slid open slowly. Cairo looked tired, his skin still glowing. His eyes had changed. Now they held stars in them, tiny lights that shimmered with every blink. I didn't want this to happen, Cairo said softly. But the bond is started. It's real, and it's dangerous. They both sat down in the kitchen. Cairo explained everything. In my culture, Zyrans only form this bond once in their life. It happens when we see someone, completely. No lies. No masks, just the truth. Alex raised an eyebrow. You mean naked? Cairo looked away. Yes, skin carries energy. Emotion, memory. When I saw you, I saw something more. Alex blushed. Okay, you don't have to repeat it. Cairo continued, serious now. This bond allows us to share thoughts, feelings, sometimes even energy. It is sacred, but it must be completed or broken. If left incomplete, both bonded beings can suffer. Suffer how? Alex asked. Kara looked down. Pain, confusion, sickness, even death. Alex felt cold. And how do we complete it? He asked slowly. Kara hesitated. We must stay close, connected, till the bond finishes forming. Once it does, it becomes permanent. Alex stood up. Hold on. You mean I'm stuck with you forever? Cairo nodded, double quotes. Yes. Unless it's broken, but that is much worse. Later that night, Alex noticed something new. His hand had a black mark like a tattoo just below the wrist. It looked like a ring of alien symbols circling his arm. He rubbed it, thinking it was ink, but it didn't go away. Cairo. He called. The alien came quickly and stared at the mark. His eyes widened. This is the seal. You've been marked. By the bond, it's moving faster than I thought. What does that mean? Alex asked. It means, Cairo said slowly, you are now more than human. Alex stared at the mark. It was warm. It pulsed with a soft beat, like a second heartbeat. What's going to happen to me? He whispered. I don't know, Cairo answered. No Zyran has ever bonded with a human before. The next day at university, strange things kept happening. Alex could feel emotions from people around him. In class, when someone was nervous, he felt nervous too. When someone was sad, he felt it like a wave. But the worst part? He could hear Cairo's voice in his head. All the time. You forgot your book. Don't eat that. It smells dangerous. That girl likes you, but don't trust her. Stop it. Alex whispered, slapping his own forehead in the hallway. People stared. I'm going crazy, he muttered. No, you're just awakening. Cairo's voice replied calmly. Back in their room that evening, Cairo sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes closed, glowing softly. Alex paced the room. You're telling me this bond can make me read minds, feel emotions, and maybe die if I ignore it? Cairo nodded. I didn't ask for this, Alex said, angry now. Neither did I, Cairo replied, opening his glowing eyes. There was silence. Then Cairo spoke again. But maybe. This is not an accident. Maybe it's a beginning. Alex looked at his arm. The black mark now had a second ring forming. Something deep in his chest burned. Not pain. Not fear. Something unknown. Something powerful. It started with a dream. Alex was floating in a black sky full of stars. A strange light wrapped around his body, pulling him toward something he couldn't see. He wasn't afraid, but he wasn't in control either. Then he heard a voice. A deep, echoing whisper. You are chosen. You are marked. You are not alone. He woke up gasping for air. His hand burned. He pulled up his sleeve. It froze. The black mark on his wrist had grown overnight. What was once a simple ring had become a full pattern, 2 circles with glowing lines shooting outward like branches, and now it was glowing faintly in the dark. Cairo stood near the window, ready awake, his arms crossed behind his back. You? Felt it too? He asked without turning. Alex nodded slowly. The dream, the voice, and this. He showed his wrist. Cairo turned and looked at it closely. This is faster than I thought, Cairo said. The bond is evolving, and you are becoming the marked one. What does that even mean? Alex asked. Kara sat down, serious. There's a legend in my world, a prophecy. One day a being not from Zyron will awaken the old powers. They will carry the mark of light and shadow, and they will bring change to the galaxy. Laughed nervously. You think I'm that guy? Cairo didn't smile. I don't think I know. That day, Alex noticed even more changes. His senses were sharper. He could hear people talking from far away. He could feel small vibrations in the floor, like footsteps before they arrived. His eyes saw colors he had never seen before. In class, while reading a textbook on alien languages, something strange happened. He blinked. The alien text began translating itself in his mind. Not just the meaning, but the feeling behind the words too. His teacher noticed. You human, Alex, she said. Did you just read Ziranian high script without training? Alex looked down at the book. I think so. The class went silent. That script took Zyrans 3 years to learn. Back in his room, Alex stared at the mirror. He touched the mark again. Cairo. Nice. Why is this happening so fast? Cairo looked troubled. Because the bond isn't just strong. It's unstable. The energy between us is growing. If we don't balance it, it could destroy us both. Alex turned sharply. Destroy? What are we supposed to do? Cairo's voice dropped to a whisper. We must visit the memory core on level Zeta. It can scan the bond and tell us more. But it's forbidden for students. Alex raised an eyebrow. So we sneak in? Cairo nodded, double quotes, yes. Tonight, the memory core was hidden deep under the university, beyond a locked zone. Meant for professors only. The halls were quiet at night, and the air smelled of metal and old power. They reached the giant vault door. Cairo placed his hand on the scanner, lit up red. Access denied, the computer said. Alex stepped forward, unsure why but his. Mark was glowing again. He placed his hand on the scanner. The light turned green, access granted. Welcome, marked one. Cairo's eyes widened. Even the system knows you now. The door slid open with a deep hum. Inside, the memory core pulsed like a giant heart. Floating crystals filled the air, humming softly. Ancient knowledge from hundreds of planets lived here. A glowing orb rose before them. State your purpose, said Carr, bowed slightly. We seek answers about the bond between this human and me. The orb scanned Alex, then it spoke. Bond level, irregular. Type soul merge. Energy, unstable. Risk of detonation, 62%. Alex blinked. Wait, did that thing just say detonation? Kyra looked stunned. That's not just danger. That's extinction level, the orb continued. Solution, complete the merge or break the bond. Time remaining, 5 Earth days. The room fell silent. Alex's heartbeat felt loud in his ears. 5 days, he whispered. Cairo nodded slowly. If we don't solve this, we both die. Alex stepped back, trying to breathe. He wasn't just some kid from Earth anymore. He was the marked one, and he had 5 days to decide the future, not just for himself and Cairo, but maybe for the entire galaxy. His simple life was gone, and something much bigger had begun. Asterisk Carre was not sleeping. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at a glowing crystal in his hand. It was a message device, small and ancient. Only Zyron agents used it. The message kept playing in a loop. Locate the human beacon. Do not fail if bonded. Destroy the link before it spreads. His face was pale. His hands trembled. Caro had a secret. He wasn't just a student. He was sent to Earth. On a mission, Alex meanwhile walked alone on the top level of the space station. He needed air. He needed silence. Above him was a clear glass dome, showing the stars, millions of them, cold and bright. Below him, the station hummed softly. Life was moving on, like nothing strange had happened. But everything had changed. He was marked, bonded to an alien. And now, a glowing voice from a forbidden room told him they might explode in 5 days if they didn't fix it. He laughed bitterly. This all started because I forgot to lock the bathroom door. When Alex returned to the room, he noticed Caro had packed a bag. What's going on? Alex asked. Caro didn't look at him. We're leaving the station. What? We have to. There's a place far from here. A secret moon. The only place where the bond can be examined fully by a keeper. Alex frowned. You're hiding something. Caro was silent. Alex stepped closer. Tell me the truth. Why were you even sent here? Caro finally looked up, eyes cold. I was sent to find someone like you. Human beacon. A rare person whose soul can connect across species. I didn't know it would be you. Didn't know the bond would form. And what were you supposed to do if it did? Alex asked quietly. Caro hesitated, then answered, break it, before it spread. Alex felt a punch in his chest. So, you were supposed to kill me? Caro didn't reply. The silence was heavy, then Alex said, and now? Caro's voice was low. Now. I don't want to lose you. Alex turned away, shaking his head. This is insane. I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't either, Caro said. But it's happening. That night, they took a stolen shuttle. No permission. No flight logs. Just a destination. Moon 17. Zeta Sector. A dead zone. No lights. No patrols. Only silence. Alex sat in the cockpit, staring into space. Caro piloted the craft. Quiet. Focused. They didn't speak much, but deep inside both of them, the bond pulsed. The mark on Alex's wrist glowed stronger now. It itched. It burned. Whispered. Sometimes he thought he could hear voices calling his name through it. Sometimes they sounded like his own voice. After hours of flight, the shuttle entered Moon 17's dark orbit. A giant structure waited below half, buried in the rock. Old, broken, but still alive. The Temple of the Keepers, Aro said. What's a keeper? Alex asked. Kar replied. They are the oldest of my kind. They keep knowledge, protect balance, understand bonds like ours. As they stepped onto the moon's surface, the air felt heavy. The sky was black. The wind whispered like it was alive. Inside the temple, blue fire lit the walls. Ancient statues watched them. Symbols on the stone glowed as Alex walked past. The temple recognized him. At the center of the temple stood a tall figure in robes, skin darker than Caro's, eyes pure white. He looked like stone, but he was alive. I am Velos, he said, keeper of the third flame. He stepped toward Alex and stared at the mark on his wrist. It is true, Velos said. The beacon lives. Alex took a step back. I'm not a hero. I'm not chosen. I'm just me. Velos shook his head slowly. No, child. You are more. The bond chose you. The stars are watching. He looked at Caro. You should have told him everything. Caro lowered his head. Velos lifted his hand. The mark on Alex's wrist glowed brightly. Energy pulsed through the air. Then Velos said, the bond cannot be broken, not without death. Alex gasped. But it can be completed, Velos added. If you accept it fully? Alex looked at Caro. Accept it how? Merge, Caro whispered. Our minds, our souls. Forever. Alex froze. You mean we become one? Velos nodded. You have until the next moonrise to decide after that. The bond will take its own path. As they stood in the silent temple, Alex looked up at the broken ceiling. The stars above shimmered like eyes. He didn't know what was coming, but he knew one thing now. There was no going back. The moon shook, not from wind, not from footsteps, but from incoming ships, fast, heavy, full of soldiers. They weren't from Earth. They weren't from Xiron. They were from the Enclave, a secret organization that hunted anything. Right now, their target was Alex, inside the ancient temple. Alex's body jolted with sudden pain. The mark on his wrist lit up bright as a star, pulsed wildly like it was warning him. Outside, the ground trembled. Cairo ran to the temple. Door opened a small scanner and cursed under his breath. They've found us. For Enclave ships, they must have tracked our energy trail. Alex stood frozen. Tracked? You said no one knew we came here? They didn't, Cairo growled. Unless someone told them. His eyes narrowed. Alex suddenly understood. You think someone betrayed us. Cairo didn't answer, but his silence was enough. Before they could plan, the temple's warning lights flashed red. A loud, electric voice echoed through the old walls. This facility is now under Enclave control. Surrender the marked one. Resistance will be punished. Cairo grabbed Alex's arm. No time. We run. Now, but where? There's an old exit beneath the altar. Keepers used it during the Great Xiron War. We go underground. They ran to the back of the temple. Svelos, the ancient keeper, stood in their way. You must complete the merge, he said calmly. Alex shook his head. I don't have time to think. Velos placed a hand on Alex's chest. You don't need time. You need truth. The bond will answer when your heart is ready. With that, he stepped aside. They found the old stone door and pushed it open. Tunnel led deep into the moon, dark and cold. Kara activated a light from his wristband. Behind them, they heard shouting, boots hitting the ground, and the high-pitched whine of weapons charging. Alex and Cairo ran. The tunnel was tight, old. Dust choked the air. But the deeper they went, the quieter it became, until dash clicked, a sharp sound under Alex's foot. Cairo's eyes widened. Trap. 2. LATEBOOM. The ground exploded behind them, sending Alex flying forward. He hit the wall hard and rolled. His head throbbed. Everything spun, but something else happened. The pain triggered the mark again, and suddenly he saw, not with his eyes, but in his mind. He saw the temple above, the soldiers inside. And Cairo. Energy flickered like a flame, weak, dimming. Alex realized something. Cairo wasn't just linked to him. He was burning his life force to protect the bond, and if they didn't complete the merge, son Cairo would die. Alex got up, his heart pounding. Cairo, we need to stop running. Cairo turned. What? Is the bondage killing you? Looked away. I can take it a bit longer. No, you can't. Alex stepped closer. You've been using your own energy to hold it together. You're fading. Cairo was silent, then he nodded once. I didn't want you to worry. Lex laughed, angry and scared. Too late for that. They continued down the tunnel until they found a small room with broken tech. And a map. Alex looked at it. There's a shuttle bay nearby, he said. Old, but maybe it works. Cairo checked his scanner. Maybe. Suddenly crash. The tunnel above them broke open. Soldiers dropped in with black armor and red visors. Target located. One of them said. Alex grabbed Cairo's hand. They ran. They reached the shuttle by a dusty hangar full of rusted ships. Only one looked whole. Alex jumped into the cockpit. Please, please, please work. Cairo slammed the door shut as blaster fire hit the wall behind them. Alex hit the controls. The ship hummed, shook, then roared to life. Yes, shouted. Cairo fell into the co-pilot seat. Launch now.
Ow.
Ship rose just as Enclave troops burst into the hangar. Firing, a beam hit the side, sparks flew, but they made it out in orbit. Stars stretched across the black. Alex breathed hard. His whole body ached, but his heart hurt more. Cairo. How long do we have? Cairo's eyes were dim. Not long. Then we complete the bond, Alex said. Tonight? Cairo looked at him in shock. Are you sure? Alex smiled, tired but true. You're my roommate, my protector, my friend. He placed his hand over Cairo's. I didn't choose this, but maybe it chose me for a reason. Their marks glowed together, one light, one path. The chase was over now, came the change. Asterisk, the ship floated in silence. Stars surrounded them. Like cold fireflies in space. Inside the shuttle, Alex sat still, eyes half closed. Cairo rested beside him, his glow weaker now, his breath slower. The bond mark on both their arms pulsed gently like a heartbeat, shared between two souls. They had escaped, but they were not safe, and something was still missing. Suddenly, a voice broke the silence. Don't finish the merge. Alex's eyes snapped open. He turned, Dan froze. Standing in the middle of the ship was a man. Tall, strong, dressed in strange armor that shimmered like shadow. But what shocked Alex most was the man's face. It looked just like his own. What the who are you? Alex asked, stepping back. The man tilted his head. I'm you, from another timeline. Cairo tried to sit up, but his strength was low, a temporal echo. The man nodded. Exactly. I crossed the stream to stop you. Because if you complete the bond, Alex, everything ends. Alex blinked. What do you mean ends? The other Alex walked forward. His eyes were full of pain. In my timeline, I merged with Cairo. Fully. Mind, body, soul. We became one. Powerful. Yes. Unstoppable. Yes. But that power became a beacon. Cairo gasped. A beacon for what? The future Alex answered coldly. For war. He waved a hand, and images appeared in the air floating like holograms. Cities burning. Ships falling. From space. Planets cracking. All because of him. You think this bond is beautiful? Future Alex said. But it is a signal. Across the stars. Beings far older than the Enclave are watching. Once the merge is done, they will come. Alex stared at the images. No, this can't be real. I lived it, his future self whispered. I was you. Cairo tried to stand. His body glowed faintly again. That future was your path, not ours. We can choose differently. Future Alex turned. To him, I loved you, Cairo. Still do. But love wasn't enough to stop what came. He looked back at his younger self. You have one chance. Break the bond. Sever it. Save him. Save the galaxy. Alex clenched his fists. Break it? But you said if we don't complete it, we die? You won't die, the older self replied. Not right away, but you'll stay human. Stay normal. That's better than becoming a weapon. Alex sat down, confused, torn. All his life he had felt like nobody. A regular guy, unimportant. Now the universe said he was special, but being special came with a price. He looked at Cairo, pale, silent, trying to stay strong. They had become more than friends, more than roommates. Their minds were already touching. Their thoughts blended. He could feel Cairo's sadness, his hope, his fear, and his love. Alex whispered, if I break it, what happens to you? Cairo didn't speak, but the answer was clear. Cairo would die. Future Alex stepped forward. You have to make a choice. Alex stood slowly. I already have. He turned away from his future self. I won't run from this. I won't live in fear. I'll face whatever comes. Future Alex's face twisted. Then you doom everything. No, Alex said, eyes glowing now. I give it a chance. He reached for Cairo's hand. Their marks pulsed brightly white and silver flames. Circling their skin, a hum filled the ship. Alex turned to his future self one last time. I'm sorry you lost your world, but I won't lose mine. He closed his eyes, and the merge began. Light exploded in every direction. Not burning, but warm. Cold, but endless. Cairo's body rose slightly. So did Alex's. Their marks connected fully, spiraling up there. Arms through their hearts, into their minds. Memories passed between them. Joy, pain, childhood moments, nightmares, laughter, silence. K-A-I-O-O.
Alex's eyes.
Alex saw Zyran skies through Cairo's heart, their souls folded into each other like puzzle pieces fitting perfectly. And then it was done. They landed softly on the ship floor. K-A-I-O-O. Opened his eyes. They glowed gold now. Alex smiled weakly. He could still hear his thoughts. But now they sounded like one voice. His and K-A-I are together. The other Alex stepped back, fading like smoke. "Maybe you're right," he whispered. "Maybe it's different this time." And then he was gone. Just stars remained, and silence. But it wasn't the same silence anymore. Inside Alex's chest, a new energy was alive, and the galaxy had just felt it wake up. The universe blinked. Across distant stars, on quiet moons and ancient planets, something stirred. A pulsar signal was sent the moment Alex and Cairo completed the merge, and somewhere in the dark corners of space, something answered inside. The shuttle. The lights dimmed and flickered. Alex stood in silence, his hand still locked with Cairo's. They were glowing now, not just their arms, but their entire bodies. Soft, white, and deep silver energy surrounded them like a living aura. Cairo opened his eyes slowly. His voice came not from his mouth, but from everywhere. "We are one." Alex smiled weakly. "Yeah, I can feel it." They could hear each other's thoughts perfectly, and were guessing. No more confusion. But there was no time to enjoy it. The ship's warning system screamed, "Incoming unknown energy. Impact in 60 seconds." Alex ran to the control panel. His fingers moved without thinking. Partly his mind, partly Cairo's. "Instincts. Something's coming," he said aloud. Cairo was already scanning. "It's not the Enclave. It's older." He looked at the screen. A tear in space had opened ahead. Not a wormhole, not a black hole, a rift. From it, a shape emerged. Massive, dark, alive, a creature, or a ship, or both. It had no name. It had no form. It simply existed. It's like a nightmare made of shadow and memory, and it had felt the bond. It was here for them. Alex's heart raced. "What is that thing?" Cairo's voice was calm but low. "A watcher, the first ones. They existed before stars." "You're telling me we just rang a dinner bell for a galaxy-eating monster?" "Yes." Alex paused. "Cool." The watcher didn't fire weapons. It didn't need to. With just one breath, it made the ship shake. Metal groaned. Stars flickered. It spoke without words. Merge or perish. Alex's mind was hit by visions. Whole planets bowing, civilizations falling, entire galaxies absorbed by the Watcher's hunger. "You wanted this power?" The voice echoed. "Now, pay the price." But something was different now. Alex wasn't alone. Cairo stepped beside him, his body glowing brighter. "We don't run, not this time." Alex nodded. "We choose our own ending." Together. They reached into the bond. A sudden blast of light erupted from their joined hands. The Watcher paused, confused for the first time in endless years. It felt something new. Resistance. Alex and Cairo floated out of the ship, surrounded by a glowing shield made of thought and soul. The bond had become a weapon not of war, but of will. They were not gods, not monsters, just two souls, fused by accident. Now standing in front of ancient fear, Alex shouted into the stars, "You don't decide our fate, we do." The Watcher lunged. They pushed back. Time shattered. For one moment, there was no past, no future. Only now. Alex saw 1,000 versions of himself, all scared, all broken, all lost. But this one, this version, stood tall. He took every pain, every doubt, every piece of who he was, and burned it into light. Beside him, Cairo smiled. Together, they became the first beacon, a true merge. The Watcher screamed, not in rage but fear. It retreated into its rift. The tier in space closed, like an eye shutting tight. The stars returned to silence. Back on the ship, Alex and Cairo fell to their knees, breathing alive. Changed the bond was complete now. Not burning, not unstable, balanced whole. Alex laughed quietly. So we didn't die. Cairo nodded, smiling. We lived. Alex looked out the window. What now? Cairo touched his shoulder. Now, we show the galaxy that bonds don't destroy. They save. Back at Galactic University, people watched the skies. They saw the light, and they knew something had happened, something powerful. The Enclave vanished without a word. The Watchers did not return, but legends began to grow. Of two beings, one human, one Zyron, who broke the rules, bonded their souls, and stopped the dark. Years later, when people spoke of the beacon, they didn't talk about weapons or war. They told a story of how it all started. The bathroom door left unlocked.